Welcome to English Practice Every Day. Today we will learn 10 words derived from the Latin root manu, which means hand. Understanding the root manu not only builds your vocabulary but also gives insight into how words evolve from simple concepts like hand into complex ideas. Manu forms the foundation for words related to working with hands, controlling, or managing things, either literally or figuratively. We will practice these words by using them in sentences that reflect their real world meanings. After practicing, we will read a short story that incorporates all these words seamlessly into a narrative to help us see how they function naturally in context. Let's start. Please speak out loud with me as we practice. 1. Manual. From Latin manualis, meaning of the hand. Manu, hand, plus alis, relating to. Manual means relating to or done with hands. Manual means relating to or done with hands. This car has a manual transmission. I prefer manual labor to sitting at a desk all day. The technician provided a manual for assembling the device. Can you think of a situation where you would use the word manual? Try making a sentence and write in the comments. 2. Manuscript. From Latin manuscriptum, meaning written by hand. Manu, hand, plus scriptum, written. Manuscript means a handwritten or typed document. Manuscript means a handwritten or typed document. This poem was discovered in an old manuscript. The author submitted her manuscript to the publisher. Ancient manuscripts often provide valuable historical insights. Can you think of a situation where you would use the word manuscript? Try making a sentence and write in the comments. 3. Manufacture. From Latin manu facere, meaning to make by hand. Manu, hand, plus facere, meaning to make. Manufacture means to make or produce by hand or machinery. Manufacture means to make or produce by hand or machinery. Many electric devices are manufactured in large plants. The factory manufactures furniture from recycled materials. This company specializes in the manufacture of luxury goods. Can you think of a situation where you would use the word manufacture? Try making a sentence and write in the comments. 4. Manipulate. From Latin manipulare, meaning to handle. Manu, hand, plus pilare, meaning to fill or handle. Manipulate means to handle or control skillfully, often in a clever or unfair way. Manipulate means to handle or control skillfully, often in a clever or unfair way. The scientist manipulated the data to fit her hypothesis. He manipulates the puppets so skillfully that they look alive. Don't let anyone manipulate you into doing something wrong. Can you think of a situation where you would use the word manipulate? Try making a sentence and write in the comments. 5. Maneuver. From French maneuver, meaning handwork. From Latin manu operari, meaning to work by hand. Manu, hand, plus operari, to work. Maneuver means a movement or series of moves requiring skill and care. Maneuver means a movement or series of moves requiring skill and care. The gymnast's daring maneuver earned her a perfect score. The military planned a strategic maneuver to surprise the enemy. The driver performed a tricky maneuver to park in the small space. Can you think of a situation where you would use the word maneuver? Try making a sentence and write in the comments. 6. Manager. From Italian maneggiare, meaning to handle, derived from Latin manus, meaning hand. Manager means a person responsible for controlling or administering an organization. Manager means a person responsible for controlling or administering an organization. She was promoted to manager after years of hard work. Every department has a manager to oversee its operations. The manager organized a team meeting to discuss the project. Can you think of a situation where you would use the word manager? Try making a sentence and write in the comments. 7. Mandate. Mandate. From Latin mandatum, meaning a command or order. Manu, hand, plus dare, to give. Mandate means an official order or commission to do something. Mandate means an official order or commission to do something. The school has a mandate to promote equal opportunities. The government issued a mandate for stricter safety measures. His election victory gave him a clear mandate to implement reforms. Can you think of a situation where you would use the word mandate? Try making a sentence and write in the comments. 8. Manifest. Manifest. From Latin manifestus, meaning evident or visible. Manu, meaning hand, plus festus, meaning struck or seized. Manifest means to show or display something clearly. Manifest means to show or display something clearly. The artist's passion for nature manifests in her paintings. His generosity manifested through his willingness to help strangers. The team's determination to win manifested in their tireless practice. Can you think of a situation where you would use the word manifest? Try making a sentence and write in the comments. 9. Manifesto. Manifesto. From Latin manifestus, meaning evident, plus suffix o. Manu, hand, plus festus, meaning struck or seized. Manifesto means a public declaration of intentions, policies, or beliefs. Manifesto means a public declaration of intentions, policies, or beliefs. The artist's manifesto explained the purpose of his work. The political party released a manifesto before the elections. The company's manifesto focuses on sustainability and innovation. Can you think of a situation where you would use the word manifesto? Try making a sentence and write in the comments. 10. Emancipate. Emancipate. From Latin emancipare, meaning to free from the hand. Out, plus manu, hand, plus cipare, meaning to take. Emancipate means to set free, especially from legal, social, or political restrictions. Emancipate means to set free, especially from legal, social, or political restrictions. Education can help emancipate people from ignorance. The activists worked to emancipate enslaved individuals. The new law aimed to emancipate workers from unfair conditions. Can you think of a situation where you would use the word emancipate? Try making a sentence and write in the comments. That's the end of the practice session. Let's now read out loud a short story using all these words in a proper context. Title of the story: The Factory Workers Fight. In a small industrial town, there stood a large factory that manufactured textiles. It had been there for decades and provided jobs for hundreds of workers. These workers, mostly from the town's working class, relied on their hands to earn a living. Their tasks were manual, repetitive, and exhausting. Among them was Samuel, a young man with calloused hands but a determined heart. Samuel had joined the factory at the age of 16. Over the years, he had learned to operate the machines and handle the fabric with precision. Yet, despite his skill, his pay remained low. The factory manager, Mr. Collins, was strict and indifferent. He followed every rule in the company's manual but ignored the needs of the workers. One evening, after a particular long day, Samuel sat with his friends in their small quarters. They were tired and frustrated. "We work so hard, but what we get? Barely enough to survive," said his friend Anna, holding a copy of a worker's manifesto she had found. It spoke about fair wages and better working conditions. Samuel read the manifesto carefully. The ideas in it were clear and powerful. It said that workers had the right to fair treatment and that they could organize to demand it. Inspired, Samuel decided to take action. He started talking to his colleagues about their rights. "The conditions here are unfair," Samuel said one day during lunch. "We can't let Mr. Collins and the company manipulate us anymore. We need to demand better wages and safer conditions. At first, many workers were hesitant. They feared losing their jobs. But Samuel reminded them of their struggles. If we stay silent, nothing will change, he said. We must maneuver through this carefully and stand together. The next day, Samuel submitted a petition to Mr. Collins. It was a written mandate, signed by all the workers, demanding better pay and safer working conditions. Mr. Collins was furious. How dare you? He shouted. You have no right to question the company's policies. But Samuel didn't back down. He calmly explained, We are not asking for luxury, Mr. Collins. We are only asking for what we deserve. The factory cannot function without us. Weeks passed, and the factory owners refused to negotiate. Tensions rose, and the workers decided to hold a peaceful protest outside the factory gates. They held signs, some of which quoted lines from the manifesto. Fair pay for fair work, one sign read. Freedom from oppression, said another. The protest caught the attention of a local journalist. She published an article about the workers' struggle in her newspaper. This factory's success is built on the hard work of its employees, the article said. It's time for their contributions to be acknowledged. As the days went by, the workers began to feel a sense of unity and strength. Samuel's leadership was evident, and he became a symbol of hope for everyone. However, he knew that the battle wasn't over. One morning, Samuel received a copy of the factory's manifesto from an anonymous source. It was a document that outlined the factory's profits and policies. Samuel carefully studied the manuscript and realized the company was making far more money than it admitted. The workers were being exploited. Armed with this knowledge, Samuel organized a meeting with the factory owners. He presented the facts and showed how the company could afford to improve wages and conditions without suffering losses. This document is proof, Samuel said. We are not asking for charity. We are asking for justice. After days of negotiation, the factory owners finally agreed to the workers' demands. They promised higher wages, safer equipment, and fair treatment for all. The workers were overjoyed. For the first time, they felt their voices had been heard. Samuel stood before the workers that evening. We did this together, he said. This is not just about money, it's about dignity. We have shown that unity can emancipate us from unfair practices. The changes brought new hope to the workers. They no longer felt trapped by their jobs. Samuel became a manager at the factory, but he never forgot his roots. He ensured that every worker had a fair chance and that no one would be oppressed again. The story of the factory's workers spread across the country, inspiring others to fight for their rights. The factory became an example of how collaboration between workers and employers could lead to success for everyone. Samuel kept the manifesto and the original manuscript of their petition in his office. They were symbols of their struggle and their victory. He often looked at them and smiled, knowing that even the smallest hands could create the biggest changes. End of story. That's all for this vocabulary building session. Remember to practice these words in your daily conversations, write your own sentences with them, and share your thoughts on the story down in the comments. Small steps lead to big changes, just like a single word can open doors to new understanding. Keep practicing, and I'll see you in the next session. Bye for now.